Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
But it don't soothe the pain.
Hello, I'm Jay Seebeck, your host of the NCW Life magazine. This is a best of edition of the 2017 year, and we're going to be having a lot of fun today on today's show. As you heard in the intro there, that was from the band North Country as they played at the Kashmir Bluegrass Festival. And as you see, as the t-shirt I'm wearing, this is one of the Sam Strong t-shirts, and that is from when DJ Dory came on my show and told me all about the Sam Strong movement. So let's go ahead and get into this best of edition, and we're going to be starting by my first time that I ever went on television for the NCW Life magazine, when I went and met Mike Blowers of the Seattle Mariners down at the Pybus Market.
I think more importantly than anything, Scott Service was a first-year manager last year. The team played well, had a winning season. I think they've made some adjustments over the winter with Jerry DePoto, the new GM. It's really an exciting time for the Mariners. But I think since they're going into their second seasons, I look for the Mariners to take another step forward.
And next up, we have the episode we did up at Mission Ridge. I got to do a tour of their kitchen and all their other facilities, but my cameraman decided to get a real nice up and close shot of when I was eating this delicious burger I had up there.
Come on up, try some of the best barbecue in the county.
And I can attest to that. You definitely want to come up here and try it. Let's dig in.
Okay, so that food was really good, but I don't think anybody really wanted to see me be that close to having a burger in my face. I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think anybody really wanted to see it. Next up, we have Rails and Ales, where I met the winner of the snowboarding championship, Austin.
All right, I'm joined here with Austin. Austin, everybody, I'm walking through the crowd. I hear everybody, the guy in the pink snowboard, he's killing it. Tell us a little bit, how did it feel going out there and finding out that you're the grand winner?
Oh, it feels good, man, dude. It was a long day at work up at Stevens Pass. Got the park open over there, so stoked to come out and still make the contest and make everything happen. Shout out to all the boys and our daily crew squad. Checked it out on Instagram. They were all killing it out here too. Representing Plain and Stevens Pass, and we're just stoked to be out here and just having a blast with all the rails and everything.
You got an intention for what you plan on using this big old check you got here for?
Well, you know, I'm pretty broke living as a snowboarder and trying to snowboard every day, so this will just be rent money and food and everything, you know, spend it smart and everything, so it should be good.
Very cool. Well, congratulations again on your win, and hope to see you out here again and win some more times.
Rodney Whaley is a local National Guard veteran, and he got a very special experience when he retired from that. He got to participate in an Iditarod, and so I got to meet some of his dogs that he races now with his dog sleds, and then also one of them was a former Iditarod dog, so check this one out.
Okay, these are my two lead dogs right here, and Spidey is, she's 13 years old, but she still knows what to do, not nearly as fast as she used to be. She ran two Iditarods when She belonged to her previous owner, Karen Ramstead, who's up in northern Alberta, Canada. When she retired from racing is when I got her, and she's just been my great little lead dog for, about 7-8 years. This is probably her last winter to run. And then her job is to train Kalijah over here, and Kalijah is young, and he was in a show kennel, and he was a little bit too small, didn't meet the conformity standards, and so I got him, but he's fast as the wind. And, he's not, he doesn't, his attention span's a little short, but he's a real sweet dog as well. Now, lead dogs, obviously responsibilities to lead. It's a personality more as much as it is a position in training. A lot of dogs can run up front, but to learn the commands, G to the right, haw to the left, come to turn the team around, different commands we use, it takes training, and her job's to train him. So all winter I've been having him up here, so as we do different maneuvers, hopefully he's going to pick them up. And it's yet to be seen what he'll do.
That was a lot of fun meeting all the dogs with Rodney Whaley. The next thing we have up is when we went out to Three Lakes Golf Course, but it wasn't to play golf. We went to play foot golf. Me and Dan Kuntz and a few others from the Wenatchee High School soccer team went out there, and we started kicking the ball around and trying to make some goals. Well, or hole-in-ones, however you want to put it. Foot golf. That was almost a hole-in-one. It was the closest that any of us got to it. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back on this best of edition of 2017 on the NCW Life magazine.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Hey, welcome back to this best of edition on the NCW Life magazine for the year of 2017. I'm your host, Jay Seebeck. And so moving on with more highlights, the next clip is from our beekeepers episode I did in the spring, back when all of the NCW beekeepers got together. They started getting their bees from California and then started making their new hives. So this next clip is with Steve Foley, who is the president of the North Central Washington Beekeepers Association.
A number of years ago, probably 5-6 years ago, a group of us, a very small group of us beekeepers in the area, got together with one of the experienced beekeepers here, and we met a few times and talked about bee issues and all kind of tried to get off the ground and keep our bees healthy and happy. After doing that for a little while, things kind of dwindled a little bit, and a number of us had got a bunch of things together for the fair, had a great event at the Chelan County Fair. And as we were putting that together, we kind of regrouped a few things and had talked to a bunch of great people at the fair that were interested in keeping bees. Realized we had a future to beekeeping in the area here, especially with backyard beekeepers. So we kind of kicked the club off about 3.5 years ago and went from about 12 members that were sitting around at the fair to over 100 here now. So a lot of growth in the club, and a lot of backyard beekeepers really taking advantage of the hobby and getting together and doing a lot of great things together.
One of the best parts about that episode is I got a free jar of honey out of it. So moving on, one of my favorite events that I went and covered, I went to 3 of them over the course of the year, but the naturalization ceremonies put together by Hand in Hand Immigration Services. So this one was from the most recent one here in December down at the New America PAC. Go ahead and check this one out.
I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. Congratulations, you are now citizens of the United States.
You know, I've watched that clip a few times now, and it still gives me a little chills when I watch it. Very cool, very special moment there. So for this next clip, you know, prepare to be a little bit disturbed. This gets a little crazy. Back in the summer at the Wenatchee Super Oval, there was a group that comes through every year, and they do a monster truck rally. Well, in addition to the monster trucks, they brought this guy, they called him the Kamikaze Kid. Check it out.
All right, Levi Drummond, the Kamikaze Kid, get ready to go. Here he is. Blowing fire. Remember, the louder you get, the bigger the flames. He's going to make his way down here. Come on, where is the noise? Check it out.
That guy was a little wild. So 2017, again, another big fire year. I went out to the Jolly Mountain Fire where I did a media tour with our local fire PIO, Rick Isaacson, and he showed me the behind the scenes of what it's like at a wildfire camp and what it means to, you know, be working out on the fire line. So check this one out.
You know, you're standing right in the smoke, and it's fairly low intensity, and when you get a more intense fire, like we have in, say in Wenatchee, and you're burning that goddamn sagebrush that burns so hot and you get 20-foot lengths, those guys are in that smoke, and just now you can see how irritating that is, but they've got to endure that, so you'll see them with bandanas very commonly. Dry bandanas, very important. And I wear goggles sometimes, protect my eyes, because you can't see. You're in there with a shovel or a hose, and you're trying to get that wet line down and all that, and you can't see if you don't put the goggles on, and you can't breathe if you don't put the bandana on. So
yeah, and you're out here for more than just like a couple of hours, a few minutes. It's
not just passing by.
14
right.
hours.
You're standing here, you know, getting the water, moving around, digging some line. Yeah, you're in it, and you ain't getting out of it for a while until you're done with it. It's not easy to get used to.
That clip right there was a very fun and very interesting kind of day spending it out there in the fire in Jolly Mountain. So before we end this segment, we're going to head up to Leavenworth. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Barn Beach Reserve out there by the Wenatchee River. And so I went up there and did a tour, which they're doing tours now, with guide Brooke Hinton, and we were doing some bird watching, looking at all the different plants and animals and that kind of thing. And so then we're at this new bird watching spots that they have out there, and all of a sudden this osprey came down and just grabbed a trout, I think it was, out of the river, and you got to check out this next clip.
There he goes!
I mean, that's pretty cool. You can see how his claws are actually just hooked into that fish and drawing some blood. So we'll be right back on the NCW Life magazine. Again, this is the 2017 Best of Edition, and I'm Jay Seebeck, so we'll be right back.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.
Hey, Jay Seebeck here, back with the 2017 Best of NCW Life Magazine edition. And so we're moving forward. This is the last segment, so only a few videos left to show you of all the different highlights that we have this year. So first off, for this segment, we're going to be starting with the 9/11 Memorial Ceremony in Kashmir, where a very powerful speech was given that really resonated with me deeply on that day.
So it's still another tragedy that this country faces. But my closing remarks at every speech that I gave is regardless of the tragedy, whether it's a hurricane, a flood, a tornado, or a terrorist attack, regardless of the nature of that tragedy, Americans always rise above that tragedy. And when we rise above that tragedy, we don't look down, we don't look back. But like our four representatives that represents everything that our country stands for, we look to the future with hope, strength, determination, and faith, and thank a gracious and loving God above for the wonderful freedom that this country so enjoys. Thank you very much.
Again, a very powerful moment during that memorial ceremony. So moving on to something a little bit more on the fun side, we had this 2017 year, the winner of the Mr. Panther Award for Wenatchee High School was nobody else other than Matt Springer. So here is his, what would you say, award-winning talent show display, so to speak. And so go ahead and watch this. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Or when your math teacher asks if you understand how to take the third derivative of a hyperbolic trig function, So you just kind of sit there and respond with,
When you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no, what do you mean?
or when the fire alarm goes off. So you go running out of the building, screaming, hoping it's real, while sitting outside thinking,
And we gonna let it burn, 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 burn. We gonna let it burn, 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 burn.
and most frequently, getting up every morning with the same attitude.
Today I don't feel like doing anything. I just wanna lay in my bed.
Now, I have absolutely loved high school, but with only 22 days left until graduation, there's only one thing left to say to the underclassmen.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too. I'd wanna be me too.
I don't know who can do a backflip just standing flat. I know I would be in a lot of trouble and pain if I tried to attempt something like that. So we're going to move forward. And what was one of the most exciting, most talked about things that people were talking about this year? The solar eclipse. So I went up to Mission Ridge, and even though, you know, the solar eclipse passed through Oregon and then heading over to the East Coast, we still got a pretty good view of it. So here in less than 1 minute, you'll be able to watch the entire thing as recorded from when I was up there at Mission Ridge. That was a really cool moment, and yes, it did take a lot of time to get it edited from that 2-hour length of the entire solar eclipse to get it down to that minute, so I'm sorry if it was a little shaky or whatnot, but anyways, we're going to keep going forward. Some of you are probably familiar with Tom Potter's television show here on the NCW Live channel, The Arbiter of Stoke. And so when The Arbiter of Stoke first started airing, I took Tom and he came on the show and we talked a little bit about, you know, what's the show doing, you know, what are you planning on doing the rest of the year? And he shared with me a little bit of his own personal story of, you know, his struggle and his battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And you're going. I want to know what that's like, because to me, that's a really inspirational kind of way of living your life and being able to, you know, go out and do things and not letting yourself be taken down.
Yeah, so June of 2016, I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. And I started chemotherapy in July 2016 on a every 2-week cycle. So every other Thursday, I would go into the oncology clinic in Wenatchee, and I had a portacath in my chest, which is like a little matrix style plug-in, and they plug in, and you sit there for 3.5 hours, and they just dose you up with all these chemotherapy drugs. And at first, I didn't even feel it. Like the first dose I got, it took about 48 hours for it to affect me at all. I felt great. I got my first dose of chemotherapy, and I drove over to Seattle, and I went to a whitewater kayaking guidebook release party, and had a blast with all my paddling friends, and came back to Leavenworth the next day, and went on a mountain bike ride, and I was like, this isn't so bad. And then it hit me. And then like 4 days of just feeling super seasick, nauseous, zero motivation. You just want to lay on the couch and chill. But since it was only every 2 weeks, I'd have almost a full week of feeling pretty good coming out of that slump. And since I live a pretty active lifestyle, I wanted to take advantage of that good week. So I try and make up for the bad week by really getting after it on the good week. And living in Leavenworth gave me the proximity to go ride my bike and go paddle the rivers and go snowboarding up at Stevens Pass and do the things I'd normally be doing without really having to travel too far for it. So I'd get chemo, and I had a pretty consistent 36-hour buffer before I felt it. And so I made a point that every time I got chemo, I'd go do something cool right afterwards. So I'd go get chemo, and I'd be done by about 2 in the afternoon, and then I'd go straight to Stevens Pass and race downhill bikes on the bike park. Or I'd go straight to Tumwater Canyon or Icicle Creek and paddle my kayak. And one of the things that helped me get through it was having those outlets, because no matter how bad you feel, if you're sitting in your kayak at the top of a Class 5 rapid, it doesn't matter how you feel, like you have to perform.
So Tom obviously has a really powerful story of, self-perseverance. And if you haven't seen the Arbor of Stoke, definitely go check it out. You can find the guide listings on our website at ncwlife.com. So moving into my favorite moment of 2017 on the NCW Life magazine, it was none other than WenCon, the first year event, and was hugely popular. Everybody seemed to really love it. I enjoyed it a lot because, most people came in, they only got to meet or get an autograph from one of these people. I got to meet everybody. I went and, talked to them on camera with the microphone. And so my favorite person that I got to interview was I'm a huge fan. He's a voice actor of a lot of different video games and movies and television shows, that kind of thing, a lot of animated stuff. His name's Steve Bloom. He's a voice actor, and so he was able to do an impersonation of my favorite video game that he's in, of Call of Duty Zombies.
I am joined by our big celebrity guest here at WenCon, Steve Bloom. Steve, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and how you got started as such a successful voice actor.
I have to just continue laughing about the big celebrity guest part. I have to get that out of the way. I don't know how I got here, honestly. It's amazing. It's been a long and crazy journey, and it continues on. I'm just waiting for them to figure out that they hired the wrong guy.
Well, it seems that it's worked out pretty far. I think you are the right guy, So what could you tell any young person who really wanted to get involved with voice acting? What is something that you experienced, that might have helped you earlier in your career if you had known about it?
Well, this piece of advice could work pretty much in any career and at any age. And the best piece of advice that I could give would be to do it because you love it, not because you want to get rich or famous, because chances are neither of those things will happen. And even if they do, it won't matter if you don't love what you're doing every day. So that's where I start, and I build on that.
Okay, and so when I was rated in the top 5,000 players in the North American Xbox on the Revelations, the Final Zombies map on Black Ops 3, I believe I might have been playing Tank Dempsey, so I heard your voice. I've got a few hundreds of hours probably of hearing you do some voiceovers. Can I get maybe 1 or 2 little quotes from Tank Dempsey?
Of course, I'm glad we slaughtered some gut bags together. This one's gonna be loud, let me back up a little. You got dead flesh on my new boots! Hoorah!
Awesome. Steve Bloom, and this is the NCW Life magazine at WenCon. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun, at least for me as a fan. I kind of geeked out right there. So that wraps up our 2017 edition of the NCW Life magazine Best Of. I hope you have enjoyed. Follow me through this first year of the NCW Life magazine. Expect for more coming here in 2018. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you keep watching the show. Again, I'm Jay Seebeck, and this is one last clip. It is the blooper reel, that's a blooper right there, of when we went down to Ed Payne's golf shop, and I kept trying to make it on the green, and then Ed just goes and hits it in one shot. So best of 2018 to all of you from the NCW Life magazine.
Stay up to date with what's happening in North Central Washington. Go to the NCW Life community calendar at ncwlife.com.
Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com. Is your vehicle in need of a quick oil change or tune-up before hitting the road this summer? Stop by Quick Lube and Tune, the home of the good guys at 610 South Wenatchee Avenue.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to ncwlife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@ncwlife.com or call 888-2020.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today.